Some general Powsurfing tips for beginners here. The best conditions to learn how to Powsurf in are when the new snow is just a few inches deep and has fallen on a smooth surface. 5 to 7 inches is pretty ideal, but these conditions vary depending on the density or the water content of the snow. This amount of snow is easy to hike around in, get you where you need to be, and you can pick a fairly low angle slope to get started on. Pick a nice open slope to learn on that is free from rocks and logs. You want to avoid treacherous conditions. Take fresh lines so you're not crossing any other tracks or bumps, and this will help you get used to the balance and the technique you need to go from edge to edge. Once you've got the hang of things, you'll learn to cross tracks, and you'll use those bumps and jumps to just jump off of and ride through packed areas when you need to. When you encounter other tracks, the best thing you can do is ollie over them, or de-weight yourself as you cross them. That way they don't knock you out of control or knock your footing out of place. For your foot placement, you'll want your back foot about 6 to 8 inches from the tail, or right on the cusp of where this tail kicks up. This allows the rider the ability to control speed by pressuring the back foot in your turns, or pressuring your front foot to gain more speed going forward. You'll want to put a bit more swivel in your hips than you normally would do while snowboarding. In fact, it's best to keep your mind away from snowboard technique in general, and instead think of surfing. Or for the landlocked folks, think wake skating or wake surfing. Powsurf technique is actually closer to those techniques than it is to snowboarding. So you're going to want to remember that speed is your friend. The nice thing about learning in shallower conditions like 5 to 7 inches is that you can make turns at lower speeds. But if the snow is deeper, say a foot or more fresh snow or deeper, you'd likely need to get on a steeper slope to get the speed you need to plane up on top of the snow. When you're planing up onto the top of the snow, your board can really work as it was designed to work. Your edges can sink in, and all the pressure that you're putting through your toes and your heels into that board can come through as it sinks into the snow. The most important things to remember is that speed is your friend, and oftentimes the faster you're riding, the better the board can perform. Some people are timid to get up to high speeds while learning, but once they find that ideal speed for the type of snow they're riding and the terrain, things really begin to click. When snow is very deep and very light, you'll need a steeper slope, or sometimes packing out a trail at the top of your run as an in-run to get more speed can help you out a lot. Just like with other sports like surfing, water skiing, or snowboarding in deep powder, you need to have enough speed to get the board floating on top of the elements so it can perform as it was designed to. Finding nice, fresh powder conditions is a good goal, but remember that if you're running a Grassroots Powsurfer, you can have a great time Powsurfing in a wide variety of snow conditions. If the top of that surface of the snow is particularly shallow, you may need to adjust your slope angle to a more mellow pitch and have better control in those conditions. The placement of your stance on your Powsurfer will also change how the board performs. Adjusting your stance as slope angle and snow density changes will benefit you greatly when it comes to control and when it comes to riding particularly steep slopes or getting through flat sections of terrain. For instance, narrowing your stance and bringing it towards the center of the board can help you hold your speed through flat sections of terrain. You'll also notice it will change the way the board turns and reacts to your weight. You can really load up the flex of the board and feel it push back on you throughout the arcs of your turns. On a Powsurfer, you have infinite stance options, and this increases the awesome feels you can enjoy on that same board. So stance adjustments. When you're riding in more shallow powder or firmer conditions such as slush, set-up Sierra cement, crust, or other variable and difficult snow conditions, it can really help to move your back foot onto the kick of the tail a few inches. This will help force the tail and rails of the board to sink in more effectively and get you the edging you may need in these challenging conditions. Even small adjustments within your foot placement of an inch or two in any direction can make a big difference in how your board will handle the conditions you're in. So experiment with minor adjustments of both of your feet as you ride down the mountain, and take note of the differences in the type of control you feel. If you're riding in very shallow or firm snow, it's best not to try to force your turns. Use the subtle suggestions of the terrain in front of you. Let them guide your turns and flow with them. Keep your upper body movements minimal and your center of gravity low. This balancing act requires practice, familiarity with the type of snow you're in, and learning from your mistakes. Don't expect to be easily able to ride in tricky conditions like this when you are learning to Powsurf, but know that as your skills and your experience increase, you will be able to ride those conditions one day. Let's say you need to hold a long traverse. Well, adjust your footing so that your toes are closer to the inside of the edge, or your heels, depending on the upside edge that you're trying to hold. Or you can reach down and grab the rail. As you turn, this is called pig dogging in surfing, Pig dogging is a great way to make traverses or navigate through firm sections of snow on a face. Pig dogging is just a bit more advanced, but just by moving your toes and your heels to one edge of the board and applying pressure, you'll feel the edge biting in, and you can adjust your upper body accordingly. If you're unable to edge into a slope or uncomfortable trying to do that, you can always jump off your board and take a few steps to get where you need to go. Powsurfing is filled with judgment calls. It's a lot like surfing. If you paddle into a wave that's beyond your ability, you're at the mercy of Mother Nature. So start small, gain the skills you need, and then learn from your successes and your mistakes. I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to check out our other how-to Powsurf videos here on our YouTube channel. We have videos that focus on the basic equipment you'll need to have the best time on your Powsurfer, as well as backcountry access tools to make travel to and from your zones as efficient as possible. We also have videos that will help you seek out and find the best Powsurfing terrain possible. We have how-to videos that will help you with things like waxing your Powsurfer, basic repair of dings and other board damage, and of course we have hundreds of high-action Powsurf videos to get you hyped to go Powsurfing and that showcase the various styles of progression in Powsurfing. Be sure to subscribe to the Powsurf YouTube channel so you don't miss the goods as we continue to release new films and instructional videos. And please share them with your friends. Your support here is crucial to help us continue to create great Powsurfing content. The best way to contact us at Grassroots Powsurf is through email or DM us on Instagram. Hit us up for questions and advice, and we are happy to help line you up with the best Powsurfing equipment for you and your terrain.